Welcome to ISB. This is Nino Khanashvili. Today we have a visiting lecturer from London, Harvard graduate Dr. Val Sadonik, who conducted a 3-day workshop in project management. Welcome, Val. Thanks for coming.
Nice to be here.
Can you tell us briefly what were the topics you covered? What was the program about?
The program was about these 3 days. We started kind of how do you initiate, plan, and then execute a project. So the stages is what do you need to prepare in order to have a solid or very good project you can execute. So you start with a business case. So the first day we paid attention kind of how to develop a solid and good business case as a foundation for a project planning. The second day we spent project planning based on PRINCE2 methodology in how do you kind of prepare or initiate a work breakdown structure, work packages, and how to kind of set up the whole program, including we discussed a lot about governance structure, we discussed a lot about roles and responsibility on a program, on a project and on a program, but also, and then when we went into implementation phase, we combined it, the project management with the change management methodology to prepare the receiver of any project for the changes to come. And also we touched on project, how to set up a project team and project and how to run a project team. So those were kind of, would say, the elements of the 3 days. With the way we worked, I built up a project organization, kind of a learning organization. So it's difficult to teach project management kind of in a one-way classroom. So the kind I was teaching is kind of setting up mini life projects. So there's one way. So the participants came with their life cases, and we started working on a life case to already implement the theory or use the theory to apply it on a life case. But we had also international case studies from Harvard and from other business schools we used to discuss what the best practices and the best lessons learned are. So at the end of the day, so the teams walked away, they have achieved basically a plan and project. And so they have something tangible to go away with. And that's kind of the outline of the last 3 days.
Right. Nowadays, a lot of organizations are using project management approach. And what are your thoughts? What are these successful criteria? What are the benefits of successful projects to the organizations? Why they are using these methodologies?
So more and more organizations need to execute and deliver in a short time frame very quick change projects, business transformation projects, IT, software implementation, and some of them have a small scope, some of them a bigger scope, but more and more organizations are challenged in deliver within a certain time frame and within a certain budget a result. And so proper planning and preparing and executing will basically underpin to deliver in time and budget. So those is one of the main parameters. But also secondly, an organization that delivers successfully a program kind of increases their own capability to deliver in the future even more, because it's an upskill for the staff internally in the organization and gives them basically they develop more and more talent how to deliver successful programs. And that's kind of the future in terms of we have more and more service industries and more knowledge worker, and that's one way to deliver, besides a hierarchy, a project quickly and in time and on budget.
Right. And what would be your recommendations to ISB participants or to other people interested in project management, to what they should pay attention, to what knowledge and skills they should pay attention more?
Well, I think foremost, I rely on best practices from my own practice, but also from studies. I think foremost is what is your approach to project management? So not only you as a person, but what is the approach of the organization? What is the current culture in the organization, and do they support project management, or do they find this is kind of interfering with line management. So a lot of organizations feel challenged because there's a line manager and then you have as a matrix a project management, and that's kind of a challenge per se. So it will help them to understand how to navigate a project throughout a very hierarchical organization. This is one way, but also secondly is one of the benefits is to understand stakeholder management from the onset. So to really understand who do you need to address and who you have to take on, talk to on a constantly basis on a project to deliver a successful project, but also a governance structure. So a lot of projects, a lot of case studies about projects where the governance structure was not clear. What are the roles and accountabilities? What is the kind of a project sponsor has to do? So they learn about roles, accountabilities, and really set up a structure from the beginning where the accountabilities and the communication and the reporting structure is very clear. And this is kind of the mechanics of a successful project. Secondly, they learn not only the mechanics of a successful project, but also they learn how to prepare for the implementation of whatever you implement, if it's a software or if it's a cost reduction program or if it's a merge integration, how you work with your target group to prepare them and use change methodology and combine those two to deliver successfully a project. So I would think those are the overriding, and how to work with senior stakeholder to get them on board, to support you, and build a successful project team. So I think those are, I would say, the core elements, and but also have a collaborative approach in planning. So I observed many project managers who had a very rigorous project discipline, but never really contacted their key stakeholder and got their buy-in or their thoughts or their feedback. So, and I think that's what they learn is how to take them on a journey, how to include them from the beginning to the end of a project. And that's kind of, that makes really a successful project. And this is something you cannot learn from a textbook, so you have to experience it. And the way we have set up the program is the way it's very collaborative. So they learn it by doing and understand when they go away how important it is to be included on a journey, on a project. And that's kind of what I would say is at the core of the success of every program.
Many thanks, Val. I'm sure those 3 days will help our participants to be more efficient in their everyday life of project management. Thank you for watching. This is ISB.